What's going on, guys? I have a Mannadium deck profile for y'all today. So I think this is the best version of Mannadium, hands down. I don't even think it's close. And I feel like most people that are good with Mannadium will tell you the same. So we're going to start off. We're going to have 3 Roomheart, 3 Meek, non-negotiable. At the end of the day, you are playing Mannadium. 3 Samsara. This is a starter and an extender. This can be a starter with another combo, another card. 2 Rykart. I'm going back and forth between 2 and 3. It's hard to decide which one's right. I don't think you can go wrong with 3, but I think you have to. You don't want your deck getting up there like 42, 43 cards. Right now, I think this is an even. I think it's 41. And then you have Starfrost. So Starfrost is kind of a brick sometimes in the board breaker version that we're playing, which is the superior version. It's hands down the superior version. But this plus this, full combo, this plus this plus, I mean, any of these combinations is full combo pretty much. So then you're going to play Fenrir. So Fenrir is mandatory in this deck. It is a starter, it's an extender, it's an interruption, it's everything. Well, I guess it ain't. Well, it kind of is an extender, depending on how they clear your board. Kashtira. Scareclaw Kashtira. It's a starter. It's not a 1-card starter because it depends on something. But if you have this and you've already normal summoned, you can, in your graveyard, whatever. Okay, that's it for the monster lineup. Well, there's actually a couple more monsters. But yeah, I'm playing around with 2 or 3 of this. Like, I don't like a build that's 42, 43 cards if it don't have to be. Especially this deck, it's already fairly consistent. You don't want to add any inconsistency to it. So this is supposed to be 3 Calarium, but I forgot to get it off the guy. 2 Reichphobia. Again, you could play 3, but then you just add an extra card to the total ratio. It don't really add up. 2 Arrival. And 2 Obsidian. So, this could be 1 Obsidian, 1 Imaginings, but the thing is, Imaginings is just something that kind of happens every now and then. Usually if you're searching, it's very rare that you have the luxury to go for Imaginings. And if you have to, you're probably in a fairly bad position. So, Obsidian can be a starter. So, you can target 1 monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, add 1 peaceful planet Calarium. So, like I said, this is supposed to be 3, but you can put 1 and 1 of Imaginings. Now, so that's it for your in-engine spells. Anti-spell hurts. Yes, it does. If you're wondering, it really, really hurts. Very bad. Now, we have Droplets. So 3 Droplets, best board breaker in the game right now is Droplets. Talents, it can be an extender, it can be a board breaker, it can be a look at your opponent's hand and just, know what they're playing. Lots of things. Enemy controller, just a personal favorite board breaker. It's just so good. I mean, I love that card. I just love that card, okay? So I'm going to have it in my deck because I can. And it's actually good, especially in this deck going second. This deck does tend to go second a little rough, but it's not that bad. You can typically get through a lot of interruptions. 1 Reframing, mandatory, mandatory, mandatory. I will stress this 1,000 times. It's mandatory. It is so good, and it's almost always going to be live. So as long as you control a synchro monster, you can negate the activation. So guess what? If they try to Dark Ruler you, negate. Yeah, it's great. So now for our saving grace. This is literally just your Droll package. And you're like, what the heck? Well, it's very clear to anybody that's played Mannadium, Droll sucks terribly, okay? I would play 3 cross out, 1 call by, and that if I could. But I don't think I want to. I want to play this, and I'm just going to hope, you know. I mean, it's 3 cards, and then you also have draw floating around your deck, and you play 2 and not 1 because the last thing you want to do is draw this and this, and now your hand is -2, basically. You're just out of luck. You have a useless card and another card that's going to be possibly useless next turn. Anyways, so that's that for the main deck. Like I said, I think the board breaker version is superior. It's just so good. Board breakers, especially these. The only one that's a little questionable is Talents, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not a quick play. You can't set it and activate it on their turn. So if you wanted to cut Talents or cut it down, you possibly could cut it for a Cosmic Cyclone, or maybe cut one of them down or 2 of them down and play 2 Cosmic. But when it's good, it's great. Like when it's actually good, it's so good. Now let's move on to the extra deck, and I will tell you, this is supposed to be Crimson Dragon. I let somebody hold mine because I borrowed one of their cards. But anyway, you're going to have a Baron de Fleur, mandatory. Ching Ying, not mandatory, but so good, so strong. Typhon, I've played around with not playing Typhon, and there's just times where you want Typhon, so why not play it? It's so good. It does kind of conflict with what we want to do, you know, but this could be the last board breaker you need to really crack that board. SP, mandatory. Lightheart, mandatory. Oh. Second Lightheart. Mandatory / possibly mandatory. And yes, I've moved my sleeves off of them. I had to do some quick. I need to get some new sleeves. Anyways, mandatory for me. I may cut one and maybe play a Goddess or something now that we see some Towers decks popping back up. 2 Astrolabe, mandatory for sure. 1 Despater, mandatory. Cell Synchro Dragon, mandatory. Appaloosa, good when it's good. Trasukta, mandatory. Amritara, mandatory. Cross Sheep, mandatory 1,000,000,000%. So there's lots of cool things you can do. So going second, even Cross Sheep is good going second. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15th card is Crimson Dragon, not here at the moment. And you can spice this up however you want. If you wanted to cut one of these, maybe cut this, and the Ching Ying and play Access Code. Maybe cut this for a Goddess. It does come up though in the grind game. The second Lightheart does come up. But a lot of times you're going to be able to have both spells in hand anyway, depending on the way the board gets set up. You'll tend to have like, you'll already be going through this basically, and it'll just be kind of a dead card. So you got to be careful with that. So if I cut anything, it'd probably be one of these, but I don't necessarily want to, and I don't have to. So that's the kind of thing. Ching Ying, your typical inboard. I mean, let me just show y'all a typical inboard. So Ching Ying, this, and this. So this is your typical inboard right there. Or you could do something different and it'd be something like this. Something like that. And with a perfect hand, you may even be able to have something like this, or even something like this, depending on what you're playing and all that good stuff. But it's basically an unbreakable inboard. But like I told you, what hurts it is Dark Ruler no more. But luckily most people aren't playing that. But we are seeing a trend in breaker decks, because people are just tired of playing hand trap wars, including me. So that's why I dropped the Fire King stuff. And plus, I think this deck is good. I think this is the third or fourth best deck. It's a top 5 deck other than Fire Kings. Branded probably is the best, though. And this does have a bad branded matchup, so if that tells you anything. Now for our side deck. 3 Bestials, because it's good in mirror matches. It's good against branded. Puppet Lock, no thanks. 3 Cosmic, just because it's super good against everything. 2 Lightning Storm. 3 Summon Limit, because why not? It's legal. And we make 1 billion monsters, and you get to make 2. So there you go. And we'll have probably 2 or 3 negates up, so good luck trying to get rid of it in a Mannadium board. Evenly matched, because it's so good right now. I don't know why people don't play around it. The only people that play around it are like really good players. So yeah, I mean it's evenly matched. But I think this side deck is good, real good. I just don't think anything in this is cuttable. Plus, this is really good with Mannadium in general, because you can get into a rank 8 very easily. Like, if you only have a Meek and you have this, well, guess what? You can start comboing off and doing all your stuff. So, it's just really good. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. Hope you liked it. Like I said, I'm sorry I was missing a couple cards, but you know, like I said, I lose stuff, and I forgot to get one the other day from the guy. But yeah, deck's great. I love it. It has like 20 starters. Probably the most fun deck out there. It's a... Okay, so if branded is like a complicated deck, you know, like at the top of complicated decks, and Pearly and all that is like at the top of complicated decks, then Mannadium is probably like right under that. So it's not a deck you can just pick up and just start playing and be good at. You really have to practice with this deck. And you have to practice frequently, or you'll kind of get out of whack. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.